Oh, cool. So his head spins. Oh. All right, waiting for people to join. There we go. What's up? Turn my computer back on so I can actually look at the instruction books. Hello. 1 second. Grab a drink. Can y'all hear me? Awesome. People are joining. Everything sound good? I'm going to try and pull up the stream on my computer, but I also have to use it for the instructions. So, because I want to be able to see chat permanently. There we go. Yes, I enjoyed the newest episode of Sonic Corruption. I'm really good. Everything's good. Hey there. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I am in the right. I am in the wrong thing. 1 second. Switch counts. Awesome. Why is YouTube being so stupid? There we go. That is not the. That's why did that show as a live stream? There it is. Awesome. Well, you may be asking yourselves, why are the piles of Lego organized by color and not in a box? Well, that's because these are sets I've already built. These are sets that I was like, I want to build a Lego set for a live stream, but I don't want to go buy a new Lego set because there aren't any new ones that I want. So I decided to take apart the Cyclone and the Tornado specifically. Well, I answered that question before I saw it. The truck I am not interested in. It's a cool build. It looks cool. I'm not going to say it doesn't. The problem is it comes with Sonic, which I have. Actually, I only have two Sonics. I have two Sonics, but I want the angry variant that is in the cheap set. I just haven't bought that. I have the tail. I have two extra tails, and I already have Metal Sonic. I usually only buy the sets with figures that I don't have. That's like I haven't bought the Angel Island set, which I do want because I do think it looks good, and I do have the Knuckles mech, so it'd be kind of cool to display them together. If y'all want to, after I build some of the sets, I can kind of show you my bits and pieces of Lego display, kind of like a mini room tour. But I'm not gonna show you my entire room because it's very messy because I just kind of throw the boxes of the boxes I use for set design on the floor out of my way. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's not waste any time. Can I do polls? Is that a thing I can do? I'm pretty sure it is. Can't. I'm not giving myself money. Timestamp. Pop out chat. Uh, reactions. Participant. Nope. Okay. Which would the people in chat? Which would you prefer I build first? The Cyclone or the Tornado? Specific. The Cyclone's the mech from episode 2. Episode 2. From Adventure 2. The Tornado is just the plane. The half of a set, pretty much. I should really learn how to play music through stream. Just kind of turn on some. Give everyone mod? No. I actually don't think I have two mods. A friend of mine and one of my brothers. I don't have two mods. I'm not gonna give everyone mod because I just don't do that. All right, well, I guess so. Before I continue, ask questions about anything that you might have about my series or about other stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the Cyclone. Is this the right instruction booklet? It is not. This is the right instruction. No, that's not the right one either. So this is the correct one. Okay. let's not waste any more time and let's get started. Oh, push Cowboy Treasure Hunter Knuckles. Oh, no, he's all the way back there. And readjust my camera. Actually, I'm going to do this. Let's pull this over. Pop out chat. Wow, that works really well. Holy. Okay, let's put this over. Sorry, nope. There we go. Okay, this is Goku Black Silver's version, or a different version. Okay, so yes, it is the one from Silver's time. Nope. Soft 2. And I connected. How do you think of episodes without running out of ideas? That is a great question. Very, I'll tell you right now. I kind of have ran out of ideas on episodes before. There's a reason I have 3 Sonic versus Shadows. But no, yeah. So I have ran out of ideas, and I'm like, shoot, and to kind of like just fill in for time, I'll make an episode where it's sort of a rehash. So going back to season 1 of Sonic Corruption so far, I knew most of what I wanted. I wanted to have one-on-one fights between Super Sonic. I didn't do that much. Super Sonic versus Neo Metal, Super Shadow versus Neo Metal, and Super Silver versus Neo Metal. I wanted those fights to happen because I wanted to make them. And then everything kind of just fell in between that. The Sonic versus Shadow episode, I kind of don't want him to be buddy yet because that's, leaves room for some interesting storytelling to come down the line. Hey Epic, I was wondering if you can voice in my Sonic stop motion. I'll say maybe for right now. Kind of depends on what. Miss a step. I did miss a step. I typically, usually I'm busy making my own stuff, so I kind of just forget to I could help other people and do voices and whatnot. Shoot, why is it back off? No, do not. I clicked instead left. Man, it is really hard trying to use my left hand to manage chat. By manage chat, I mean scroll through it. So are you rebuilding the set or making your own custom? I'm rebuilding the set. I took these apart probably 30 minutes before I started streaming just because I wanted to build a Lego on stream. So if you're thinking to yourself, wait, when did he build these? I don't remember that live stream. That's because I didn't build them on a YouTube live stream. I built him on a Instagram live because I wanted to try that out. Ultimately, didn't really like streaming on Instagram that much. Streaming vertical, very hard. So, I probably will just go back to streaming on YouTube specifically. What piece is that? Is that just okay? So yeah, I haven't since. Actually, I should go ahead and just build the figures because there's no reason for me not to. So here's Metal Sonic. I really like this figure. It looks good. I blacked out what happened. I'm building Metal Sonic. This is what he looks like in his flying mode. It looks really goofy like this. Oh, that's his legs. He's gonna fall over. Knew it. And then next is Tails. Nothing insane. I'm just building the sets. I don't know how long this stream's gonna take. This is Angry Tails. I have considered making a Lego episode. It would not be connected to anything specific, just because. Yeah, all right. Because I think Lego stop motion is such an easy way to get into stop motion. I will say, if you want a pretty, if you're struggling with stop motion, and like let's say you're a Lego fan, I would recommend doing some Lego stop motions because Lego is very easy. Where Lego thinking? Lego is a very easy way to get into stop motions because of how they are meant to be. Because they can stand. They pretty much come in with built-in stands, and walking animations are very easy. What piece am I looking for? Okay. So yeah. Yeah, that's the right piece. And then we need to. There it is. So in season 2 of Sonic Corruption, Sonic is a protagonist and a bit of an antagonist at the same time. And he's the Werehog. Correct. That is a very accurate description, yes. Now, will he be an antagonist the whole time? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not making this. I'm not making this series. Why did I say that? I am making this series. I animate with Legos all the time. My sister. Oh, not my sister. And my avatar is a Lego robot, so I can confidently say that it is the. Where is Infinite and will Trip be important? Well, Infinite, I will tell you right now, he's out there. The reason Infinite did not appear in the episode is a real world reason, because I did not want to. What's the word? The episode kind of felt cluttered. I felt like it would be too cluttered with people if I threw Infinite in there. So I was like, okay, Infinite will take. He'll be part of the series, yes. Now as for Trip, I guess I did kind of just answer that in a comment. There's probably not many people saw that. Oh, not that yet. I realize I'm building this backwards to the instructions, but it does matter. Oh, lots of comments coming. Okay, okay? 2 comments. Face reveal win. I'll answer that. That one I'll answer in a second. So Trip, will Trip be important? Well, I will tell you. Probably. I if the last live stream I did is when I learned that there was a actual Trip figure. And so I was like, oh, I didn't even know this was a thing. Until the people in the live stream said, yeah, there's a Trip figure out. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I will have to get on that. And then I found it at GameStop, which was pretty nice because sometimes it can be really difficult to find the new figures as they come out. So it was really nice being able to find that at GameStop. And plus, I had a $5 off at a GameStop, so I actually got it for like $5, which is really good. Where? Okay, I know. There it is. Okay. Will there be a flashback on how he turns into the Werehog and his trip just working as Eggman's table? Shoot. Why did I draw a blank on whatever I was doing? Okay. So at the moment, yes, Trip is only going to be a table. But we'll probably play an important part later on when I decide what that important part is. Mind you, I'm still working on episodes as I work on them. That's just what a sentence to say. I'm working on episodes as I work on them. Which way does this go? Okay. So yeah, triple probably play an important part because I actually do really like how the figure is. It's really fun. Let me pull it. Actually, let me grab it real quick because it won't take that long. Okay, I missed a step, or I'm just bad at building. I'm bad at building. What the heck? Face reveal win. 10,000 subscribers. I'm not kidding about that, by the way. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So the trip figure, here it is. Consider this a small review. The arms are like every other figure, single jointed, rotating wrists. But I like the head is on a ball joint, so it just kind of can give more expressive nods, and then the feet are pretty well balanced just to kind of slam it down. So consider that my review on the trip figure. Shoot. Face reveal went. Face reveal. I said 10,000, and I do mean that. Or details for this will come out later when I actually confirm that I'm doing it. I will be attending one of these Sonic Expos very soon. I'm pretty sure they're actually the only one is the Dallas one. It's coming up. So I will be attending the Dallas Sonic Expo. I will be there, and I will make sure my presence can be findable if you want to come say hi or whatever. So keep that in mind. Details will come out as I get the details myself. Me either. I'm just starting. This is a comment. Dude, it was pain for me to find Shadow. Okay, so Shadow was actually a pretty easy figure to. Oh, by the way, about the Sonic Expo, I think I'm planning on being there all 3 days. So if you can only go to one, don't worry, I will be there for probably all 3. So Shadow was actually one of the first figures I got for the line. And to be fair, oh, why did I put all the black pieces in one big pile? That is so hard to see. Why? Oh my goodness, you guys. You know, I just realized I have studio lights. Isn't that better? Hopefully. Does Eggman goon? No. I don't know why you would ask that. I hate the fact that I answered that question, but no. Hello, Epic Ninja. Hello, Valk. I think that's how that would be pronounced. Oot Gaming. Shin Laserman EOM. Pichu Sonic. Reading all y'all's names. Scroll down more and flip it. Looks the same. All right, yeah. Excuse me. All right, now we set this aside. Okay. So, any questions? Like, what's your favorite kind of cheese? I don't know why that's the question that came in my head. Are you building the Tails mech? Yes, I am. Correct. I'm also building the Tornado when I get to there. It stands for Imperial of the Monsters. Oh, okay. Yeah, my friend has something similar. like an acronym in one of his usernames. I think it's like he's a big Plants vs Zombies fan. I think it stands for like Armored Chompy Supreme, I think is the acronym. I don't know what it means. He said the other reason he did that was because he wanted his name to pop up first on all his friends' list. So, if he's watching, shout him out. Okay. I'll answer that question in a second. I'm reading, not reading instructions, but looking at instructions. Are those gray or those are gray? Okay. Let's see. So recently, the call and whisper have been leaked. So would they be important? And if you do, would Chaos be a villain? You know what's funny? This is, to be fair, on me, because I own the figure. I forgot that Chaos had a figure. So when I was trying to think of a villain to do for the season, I was like, oh, I'll reuse Infinite because Infinite's a cool figure. And to be fair, he is. And that does not change the fact I'm not going to rewrite the story because Infinite's already set up and he's going to be cool in what I'm going to do with Infinite, hopefully. I did not know Tikal got leaked. To be fair, actually, I didn't know Whisper got leaked either. I'm still waiting for the Tangled? Isn't it like a Walmart exclusive Tangled to come out? So I'm still waiting on that. But I mean, yeah, I want to get them. I don't know about the Zombot infected Sonic because that one is I have really no use for it, and I typically don't want figures just kind of like I don't know. It's a maybe. It'll probably clog shelves when it actually hits the States. Oh man, you guys are hitting me with questions too fast. So that's how EOM sounds like to people. Okay. I do not. Well, I guess that answers that question. I do not have the Metal Virus Sonic. I love answering questions without even knowing I answered a question. That's pretty funny. Hope I built that wrong. I'll answer. Let me give me 1 second back. Okay, flip my head back. We need another figure collection. I mean, yeah, that's something I can easily do. Those videos don't take long. Well, okay, would you only want figures or would you want like other stuff besides figures? So like I have a few like kind of like display pieces. I don't really get too much display stuff. But like would that also be something you want or would you only want action figures? When are you going to do a figure collection? Oh, that's what you were replying to. At some point. That's at some point. I could do it sooner rather than later. Especially since it's just like such an easy video. Yeah, but like all my Sonic stuff or just Sonic action figures? Okay, so a whole collection. Jeez, was it really 2023 when I did it? Does not feel like it was that long. Like your. Okay, I'm getting two mixed things. Typically, I do the action figures first because that's what people care most about. Yeah, the Knuckles mech is a really cool set. I like it. This set I like because it's just it's something that's actually from the games. Oh, jeez. So that's one of the cool reasons I like it a lot. I know I didn't do one last year. That's because I didn't know if it was too soon, and I didn't feel like it grew too much. But will Hypersonic make an appearance? To be fair, I don't really have a way to do Hypersonic. Obviously, I know I can make a custom one, which is true. I don't really have a way to do the Super Emerald specifically. I feel like I missed a step. Did I get a hair stuck in? I did. Sorry, getting distracted by how pieces connect. I think that's how it connects. Got hair stuck in it. I'm somehow messed up. That's not. Oh my gosh, I've been looking at the wrong piece. Okay, sorry. If Jax ever made a Cyclone mech, would it be his armor? Probably. Problem is when they make stuff like that, it's only like in 2.5-inch scale. Like I passed on the Tornado one that they made, mainly because I have what I call it, the X Tornado. But I probably wouldn't pass on it. Depends on how it looks. I only have a few of those small play scale sets from Jax. What about the Master Emerald? I do have the Master Emerald. Or are you asking like where is it like right now in the story? Because it's definitely somewhere. Eggman still has it. I mean, yeah. Of course, I don't know why. Well, yeah, it's duh. Okay, I already did that. Already did that. Already did that. Okay. Oh, those pieces are needed. Okay. What was the question? Well, Knuckles and that could be super important to this series. Yes. Because they're detectives. They're gonna solve all the mysteries. They're great detectives. And I want to start using more of the more than just Sonic, Tails, Shadow, and Silver. I want to use more characters than just those guys. And the best way is to, well, use them. There it is. I did not know you could fit the 4-inch tails in the tornado. I was not aware of that. Oh well. Can't really go back. Where is Omega? You know, when making this season, I had the thought as like, why haven't I used Omega? And so I do. He is coming back. I will say. There is one episode I sort of not have written per se, but has been um, thought out. And that involves Shadow. Seriously, another hair got stuck in this? How many hairs do I have fallen off my head? So why did Vector steal Tails' posters? Well, because it was for a joke. That's why. Will Tails get his revenge? Probably. Yeah, that stuff was just like, oh, I want a funny joke, like a gag, because I wanted a funny gag where it's like Vector stole Tails' posters so I could reuse the set empty. And I think it would be funny just kind of have Tails be angry at Vector for most of the season because Tails is mad because he stole his posters. I just think it's funny. Is Sonic gonna be the Werehog this season? Yes, he will be the Werehog this season. At least more than once. Will you ever show up in your series? So, like, are we talking like an OC? Or, like, I just say someone is me? What is your next video gonna be? I don't know. Could be a collection, could be another episode. It just depends on what I feel like doing. OC. I don't really have a OC. In all honesty, I haven't. So probably not. I probably won't have an OC show up. Wait, I had it right the first time. Will Metal Sonic appear again? Yes, he will. Because that's why I teased him still being alive in episode 10. What has happened to Jet? Well, as you saw, his hoverboard got yoinked by Sonic in the episode 8, 9. I think it was 8. So Jet will probably be trying to steal a hoverboard or something. Not Extreme Gear. And where is Blaze? Blaze is in her own dimension. That's pretty easy to explain because that's just where she's going to be for most of it. Because, like, I mean, she has her own dimension. Is that the piece that fell off the table? Or is that it behind? Nah, it's not it. I had a piece fall off the table earlier that I couldn't find or didn't see what it was. I just kind of wrote it off as losing my mind a little. Oh, I'll find it later. Oh, we're coming in with the big old questions now. Okay. how do you do the stop motions, and are you going to be doing any giveaways and stuff? I've thought about doing some giveaways, in all honesty, but I just don't know what to give away. Or what, so it's just like, I'm not sure what to do about giveaway wise. Okay, I think I can build both legs. And what happened to Silver and Shadow? Well, Shadow took a boat to some faraway island. I have yet to look up islands in Sonic, so I can be like, oh, he's at this specific one. So at the moment, just assume Shadow is doing some self-discovery stuff. What is Movie Sonic doing right now in your story? Eating a chili dog. That is what he's doing at this exact moment. He's eating a chili dog. Oh, giveaways about your next video. Oh, like story details? Like that kind of giveaways? Like teasers. Well, Sonic will be running, Knuckles will be punching, and Tails will be tailing. That's so stupid. Well, yeah, so to be fair, I wanted the first episode to just kind of be following Knuckles and Vector, because I was like, that would be kind of like an interest. I thought it would be like kind of a cool thing to have follow these characters and kind of like see it from their perspective of this stuff happening. The next episode. So where Silver was in the last episode, I have a very explanation for this, and I was prepared and waiting for this question. Yes, tailing. That's funny. So Silver was running errands. He's helping Tails around his workshop, and Silver was out running errands far away. And obviously, they don't know how big the threat is. So they didn't feel need to tell Silver to rush back. And also, outside reasons of why Silver didn't appear is because, it leaves from the character's perspective. They don't know who this guy is. He just appeared, and he can teleport and whatnot. So it's like, ooh, how can we beat this guy who's just like appearing out of nowhere and whatnot? And then it's over there. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, it's this guy. I fought him like multiple times. He's kind of bad at fighting. So I hope that kind of. Well, yeah. When Silver shows up, of course he'll tell them. Silver's not going to be like, oh, wow, who is this guy? I'm not going to have him have amnesia. What am I? What is he, Shadow? Okay. If Charmy is released as a 4-inch figure, will he appear as part of the Chaotix, and Knuckles can have a break and go back to guarding the Master? Well, yes. To be fair, if I could find the 2.5-inch Charmy would appear in this series, because. But no, instead of putting it in an easy to find bulk Walmart wave, we had to get the 1,500th random small creature. So the small creature I want. How did Goku Black get to the present? Chaos control. Just some sort of like brute force way of using chaos control. Guys, look what I did. I built it wrong. What happened to Big the Cat? He's fishing somewhere. Probably where there's fish. To be fair, Big the Cat is just, it's kind of hard to him. Because he's just kind of like just having Big kind of just be like, hey, I'm walking here. That's not what I mean. That's such a dumb thing. How did Goku Black get? How did he learn it? In all honesty, I don't even know how the characters use Chaos Control besides, having a Chaos Emerald or being able to use it and just screaming Chaos Control. Well, he's like okay, time for some lore dump. I have thought this out, but it just hasn't been spelt out in the story. But Zamasu Goku Black, for whatever intended purposes, I'll just call him Goku Black since that's what the actual figure is. He is pretty much the equivalent of Silver's Eggman, the antagonist that just shows up and he has to fight. And Silver always beats him. So he has seen Silver use Chaos Control, and from there was able to replicate it, kind of how like Sonic was able to see Shadow use Chaos Control and copy it. Make sense? I feel like that's a good explanation on how. He's seen Silver use it, and it kind of connects with it. How did he know what it is? So he knows. So okay, I'll continue on. He's seen, Silver go back and forth in time. I don't think in the series I've shown Silver use just like teleport in per se. I don't think I've done that. But like he's probably went to go. So that's kind of like a freedom fighters of the future. I built that wrong. Wait. Oh no. There we go. Okay. These are still opposites. Okay. So Silver has his own freedom fighting group in the future. More of like just kind of like a group that he hangs out with, pretty much. Ultimately, he does prefer the past because it's way cooler, because there's Knuckles. I feel like I answered that pretty well. Hey, how do you make which Sonic Lego set is that? One, you can buy this set at like Target, Walmart, or wherever you can buy Lego sets at, Lego store. How I am building this, as you see, I don't really have instructions. That is because I'm using, you can also look up the instructions off Lego. What happened to SPO? Are you ever gonna Naruto back? So I just love how that's phrased. Yeah, Naruto will be back. Oh my goodness. He will appear at some point. I'm kind of like still kind of trying to figure out. I teased him in the opening, so like he will appear. Technically, he already has because he's in the opening. Pretty much what I did in the first episode was I instantly nerfed the gun Secret Force. Because I took out the guy who can teleport in an instant. Who would actually be able to keep up with Sonic has the chance of keeping up with Sonic. And so, yeah. SBO is part of Gun because being a ninja is awesome, dude. I'm telling you, there's a reason I have Epic Ninja 8 in my username. Because I like ninjas. Can the real Goku like the Saiyan, appear in the series. So, about like Goku and Vegeta appearing as, well, Goku and Vegeta and not civilians, I do not want to introduce. I want to keep it mainly focused that the Sonic characters are the strongest people to stop problems, because I do genuinely think they just kind of keeps it from getting like, oh, well, this one guy, he can just transform into like a supersonic state at will, and then he can just easily beat up the problem, and that is not what I want my story to be. So I talked about this on the last live stream as a running joke that I've yet to do, but I'm going to go ahead and consider it as canon, like I've done it, is that Goku and Vegeta are actually TV actors of some show that sounds close enough to Dragon Ball Z. That's like Super Punching Fighting Z. Great name, I know. And that though the characters, so like Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, 4, Blue, God, Ultra Instinct, all that stuff, are just part of the TV show, and they can't actually do them in the real world. Who is going to be the next captain of Gun? Because that's that video have to find a new captain. The new captain is, where did I put him? There he is. I grab him since I got him. It's going to be this figure specifically. If you know his name, it's Kakashi. I'll just go ahead and tell you. He's going to be the captain of it until the other guy comes back. So keep that in mind. Jeez, I've already been streaming for so long and I'm not even close to being done. Okay, catch up. Will Piccolo ever appear again? Yeah, he will. He'll probably be standing in the background with a cape, doing absolutely nothing. I'm kidding. He'll probably do something. Was it hard to pose Infinite when you do your... Yes, Infinite is probably one of the most annoying figures to actually pose because of how he's designed. And I'll show you what I do specifically to make him easier. And you've probably been able to, see it in videos. Because it's not like crazily groundbreaking. Why did you change the intro bit in episode 11? So I'm assuming you're referring to the scenes that are from the episode. That's what you're like compared to the one I posted. That's kind of like a tease. Will Master Roshi ever appear in the series? No, because his action figures are super expensive, and I don't really want a Master Roshi figure. Okay, let me answer that in just 1 second. I just realized, does the real Goku exist in the future since Zamasu is in Goku Black? Does that mean he killed himself bias with him? No. So, let me explain. I have to skip steps. Sorry for the set. I have to explain some bit more lore. So, no. He did not swap bodies in the future with Goku. Instead, he is a distant relative. Like, Goku is technically would be like his great, however far in the future, grandfather. It's like a bunch of greats. And so he just resembles him. That's why he has pink spiky hair. It's not like a Super Saiyan state. That's just like his normal hair for the show. So why did I change the answer? One, I really did not. The parts where it shows, did I do that right? Yeah, sure I did it right. The parts where it showed the previous supersonic fights from the kind of season finale of each part, that was kind of just the shoehorn in because I didn't know what. I am missing another part there. Shoot. I probably fell on the floor. I'll find it later. Those are just kind of shoehorned in just because I was not sure what to put there. And I figured, and then I had the thought of, oh, I can do sort of a kind of like flash, peek into parts of the episode. So I figured that would be kind of like a cool thing to do. Okay, will you ever use different frames per second for stop motion? I've different frame rates. I don't know. I've just gotten so comfortable using 12 frames per second. I've just never considered switching. Because, I just know what I want. And kind of man, these feet are. You ever know you just kind of build something wrong, and you just don't know where you went wrong? That's me right now. Because I'm missing quite a few pieces. Okay, well, this set is not all there, but it's close enough. Ooh, it's done. I really do like how this set looks. I'm missing one. Two pieces. I'm missing two pieces. And I have no idea where this part goes. Huh. I'll set her here. Or not. Okay. That's so funny. Hey, can you bring Krillin in to the series? Just so you know, Krillin is spelled with a K, but I misspell stuff all the time, so it's perfectly fine. If I find a Krillin figure for cheap, there's actually one that's out right now, or that I've seen around, that looks really good. I just haven't bought it because I haven't really been buying too many Dragon Ball figures recently. I haven't really bought. Yeah, well, no, I bought Trip. I bought some clones and all my Naruto figures. Yeah, so I mean, is Infinite coming back in Sonic Corruption? Yes, he's going to be part of the story. Okay. How strong are the characters? Are they planetary? Are they multi-continental? Are they universal? Ooh boy, power scaling, my favorite. Oh man, I have no idea. Okay, skip all this stuff. Power scaling is such a fun thing to do. Not really. So, where are... Well, you gotta wait and find out. I can't spoil the whole series. Moving on to the tornado. I will say... Dang, Supersonic. Such a hard thing to do. Where my characters are power scaling wise. I am... Let me come back to that one. Other than Sonic, Dragon Ball, Naruto, what figures do you have? Star Wars? How about... Let me build this set. I'll kind of give you a quick display tour Jeez, there's so much red in this set. Holy. I didn't show this, but like, look at the color distribution. Most of it is red. This is insane. I collect some Star Wars figures and kind of just stuff from like, I'm gonna say my childhood and be old. Figures I like. It's like sometimes I'll have miscellaneous stuff. Like I have some Pokemon figures that you've seen. So like I have a Greninja, I have Ceruledge, I have Mega Charizard X. No, only Greninja and Ceruledge are actually some of my favorite Pokemon. Mega Charizard X, I just like how it looks. Also, one more question. Is Mephiles coming back? Because I would like to see him versus Infinite one day. So, Mephiles is the hardest character to come back because of where I wrote him in the story. If you don't know, if you don't remember, it's fine. I don't always remember stuff I've made, no matter how hard I try. Someone will always remember something that I didn't. That's perfectly fine. But Mephiles is currently being imprisoned in sort of like a separate universe, dimension, whatever I want to call it. Universe for right now. I'll say, well, outside of a universe, specifically. Excuse me. Me file. Don't know what that means. So he is being watched by sort of like, if you know Marvel, you know the Watcher, seen What If, seen whatever. He's currently being watched by pretty much my universe's equivalent of that. And so he's imprisoned and being watched, so he can't tamper with stuff anymore. But I have thought of a way to bring him back, not in the way of like an antagonist, but sort of as just a. If you know, if you don't know, that's fine. But for a specific character that may have gotten a bit of a power boost from Mephiles before, he may come back in a way like that. I don't know. We'll see. Are you ever going to bring back the train with Master Roshi into this story? I'm not sure. I've never had Master Roshi in the story, so I don't know what you mean by that. The train, I'm assuming you're talking about the one from like, oh geez, like The Adventures of Sonic and Shadow, like episode 4. That is an old one. Goku Black. I'm lost. Oh, my camera. Why have you guys been not saying I've been building this? Have I been off stream building the thing the whole time? And you guys haven't said anything? I guess you guys are more just listening to me just yap. That's what I should have named this stream. I should have named it a yap session. Oh well. You live and learn. If you're talking about the training, the characters probably won't train much anymore. They might. They may not. Okay. I thought I've been building this thing off camera, and just no one cared enough. And I was like, that's really funny that they're not actually watching. It's the power scaling time again. Oh, right. Okay. I would say for my universe, there'll just be multi-continental. I think that's what you said. I think that's fair. No. Planetary. I'll say they're planetary. Sonic has faced people that can destroy planets. Planetary, I feel, is like a good multiversal or universal. Oh boy, no. That's way too much. I typically try and avoid having these characters just be to the point where power scaling is like, oh, how do these? Because like not only do you have to make your character strong, You also then have to make the antagonist strong or stronger, so they have to be like, oh man, we gotta get stronger to defeat this guy. What is the plane I use as the expert? That is a great question, and one that I love answering because I can grab it real quick. I didn't technically customize it, but it's not really customized in a way where no one else... It's not like a unique paint job. It's... My OC can beat them? Nah, well, no they can't, because you haven't seen the Sonic uber-duper Sonic kick where he destroys the power of the Infinity Stones from Marvel. Okay, quick pause. So this... We'll just set it here. Let me wipe my camera. I noticed that it's a little dirty. That's not much better. Okay, so this is what I use as the X-Tornado. It is from the Buzz Lightyear movie. I bought it on sale for $10. And I just taped... The tails are just taped on with Scotch tape. If you notice, it's falling off right here. Oh, up here. It's falling off, but it still holds on pretty well. The only bit of resemblance, I covered up most of the logos, but is this the Star Command one. So, that is what I use for Tornado. It can fit really up to one figure in it. Two, if I jam them in there and force the lid down. Oh, Tails died. Sonic died. So, yeah. How long does it take to do a Sonic Corruption stop motion? Varies, I will say. It definitely varies per episode, depending on what I want, how long I want the episode to be, or how long does it take for me to cover all the information in the episode that I want to cover. Can Tails actually fit in the plane? Yes, he can. What I would recommend doing, just so you don't break it, your Tails figure, if you somehow find this and you want to use it, to not break your Tails and to shut the logo or the lid, is you want to kind of just pull his tails out. So like get rid of that. So he can sit in there like this, perfectly fine. And then the lid kind of pushes down on him, just a little. I don't think it's much, but that will strain the peg that goes in his rear end. So you can just pop it out, and then you can just kind of set Tails in there and kind of like lean him. Oh, that's off camera. Kind of like this. And then it still gives the look of him having his tails. To be fair, Jack's majorly oversized his tails. Like, I wish he could stand like this with his tails down. That's why his tails are always to the side. Oh, he isn't being a pain to stand. His tails are always to the side like this, because if he's like this, he falls over and he leans forwards too much. Okay, so yeah, that's... yeah, to be fair, I haven't really... I did buy some rubbing alcohol to do some weather damage to something. I just haven't really... I didn't feel... I also... Actually, let me just restart. My brain is fried. I'll take some Dr. Pepper. Okay. No, I did not know I could use rubbing alcohol. That's what I should have said. No, I did not know. Mainly because I don't really think of removing it. But, yeah, I mean, I could, but... It's also perfectly fine how it is. The logos aren't that big of a deal. Because, I mean, I just put the sticker. Because, actually, let me pull it back down to kind of show you. So I'm pretty sure on the tail fin, all I really covered up was like numbers. Only covered up like the numbers of the plane. So that's all this really covers. And I don't want to remove the blue striping on accident. Because I do like the detail. Customs you could learn. I won't say that I'm bad at customs. I have wanted to actually make some customs. So here he is. He's on the floor because it's my old shadow figure, and he's very battle damaged. Battle damaged. He is damaged beyond belief because I had to use him. A shadow figure was a sacrifice so my super shadow figure could live. So as you guys I have probably said, my super shadow I bought used, and he is very flimsy. His joints, I can get him to stand most of the time. Most of the time he does this. So I have to get him like in wide stances like that. So his shoes in gloves I had to replace, and his nose I had to replace with this guy. This shadow, these are the shoes that came on my super shadow. As you see, very worn. It's yellow, not gold. And I ripped his nose off to glue it onto him because his fell off in the carpet and I couldn't find it. So what I have thought of doing, I'm assuming, because you guys also are children of the internet, I'll send them off to the side. I have thought of making a custom out of this shadow. I know the shadow figure is a terrible, actually, needs a new body. But this figure is literally, I have nothing for this shadow. There's no reason for me to keep it. It is literally trash. But I don't like throwing it away because I can find a use for it. And so what I have thought of doing, if you have seen a little animation on YouTube, is it The Return of Nazo? Or Nazo Unleashed, I think is the actual name. Nazo Unleashed. I have thought about making a custom Shanix. Is it Shanix? I think it's Shanix. Shattuck. Thank you. I don't know why Shanix. Shattuck. I'm such a fake fan. Don't even know the fan fusion of Sonic and Shadow. Not Nazo. I'm not making a Nazo. That's not out of the ballpark, but to be fair. Shatting. I don't think that's the correct name. How do you still have... You mean why I still have that? Anyways. Shattuck. Yeah, I thought about making a custom Shattuck figure. I have yet to. Or, at the very least, I thought of taking the shoes and making like a custom pair of Sonic hover shoes for him to use. Because I thought about that, but like he has no reason because the sub shoes are so cool. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I obviously haven't done that, as you can tell, because that shadow still looks like that. Also, don't really have much paint. Actually, my brother has paint. I could probably borrow. I wanted a Nazo figure. Message retracted. That's funny. I didn't even know you could retract messages. That's really funny. Nazo would be cool. Kind of just like a cool custom villain. I know there is a guy on Instagram. I don't know if he sells them, but he does make custom figures. So it would be cool, kind of like talk to him about it, but not Tito. I always forget how to pronounce his username. But like, I know I'll probably could talk to him about making a custom figure for me. It's just a lot. I just don't know how much it'll cost, and I do kind of like not spending too much on action figures. I have been most of my SH figure arts. If you're like, oh, you collect SH figure arts, so you obviously buy expensive figures. So these questions are kind of it. I don't like spending too much on action figures. I do collect SH figure arts, but I typically buy most of my all. No, I did buy two of them new. Most of my SH figure arts are either bought used, bought when I can get them on like a sale price. Yeah, the OG. I have bought his custom soap shoes, and they are great products. I love them. What the problem is with that stuff is typically custom stuff shouldn't be handled like that. I think, yeah, I have them on hand. Mind you, this is no dig at Tio. It is just how I technically am not using his stuff how it's supposed to. So if you notice, there are paint chips in the custom soap shoes that I bought. This is not because they're poor quality. It's because I am handling these, like I'm technically like playing with them, of how making stop motions work, and so they're chipping. And I did talk to him. I was like, hey, I asked him like what paint does he use for the specific ones that I bought, and he was like, yeah, no problem. It sucks that happened, but it's like I know I'm not using these for their intended purposes, and that's why they're chipping, because his stuff is meant to be displayed, and making stop motions is sort of pretty much playing with your stuff, because you're rubbing your hands are on them and whatnot. Make sense? So now, mind you, I'm not against custom stuff. A lot of it looks really cool. Shoot, one of y'all who are smarter than me. What is Knuckles from Sonic and the Black Knight? What's like his alter name? Is it Sir Galahad? I think it is Sir Garwin. Thank you. Yeah, I wanted his custom Sir Garwin figures set that he made. It looked so good. It looked amazing. But I didn't have. Galahad is silver. Okay, thank you. I was named some medieval knight. It looked so cool, and that would be such a cool thing to have. Andre, I don't have an extra Knuckles to make it, was one thing. But I also just didn't have the money to spend on it. And so ultimately I passed. And, there's nothing wrong with that. I understand what it goes behind to make a custom. I mean, he custom makes the models. He prints them out. And depending on what you order, he hand paints it, and that's very time consuming. The little bits I've done with like Warhammer, I have like 2 Warhammer figures. I spent maybe an hour painting them, and one of them I just left black after priming it because I was lazy. So, and no, I don't play Warhammer. If you're wondering, I got those figures for free from a Warhammer store. But yeah, it's just like. It would be cool to make customs. I just don't really. I don't stray too much out of my comfort zone. That much, in all honesty. When it comes to stuff like that, I mean, some of you have set me honest. Well, I'm interested to see them because, like, customs are really cool. They're really great, and they're a good way to add characters that like Jax is taking their sweet time making. Like I saw the next Jax wave get leaked, and I was very disappointed that the only like kind of good thing to come out of it is a re-release of Jet. But like the giant penguin, did people really ask for a giant penguin figure? Like, be serious. Probably not. It's like not a bad thing to have because it's funny. Who doesn't love a giant penguin? Well, please, I would like to try customing myself before I just go to the straight pay someone to do it because it would be fun to try. And heck, I could even make videos about it and kind of be like, my experience making a custom Sonic figure. It'd be really cool. But like, feel free to give me his name. I will check him out. I probably have seen him. I'm kind of glued to social media, unfortunately. No, it's not like bad. I mean, I do get outside and touch grass a lot because I love going outside and playing games or playing sports with my friends. If you can get me his name, please, I would very appreciate that. I'll check him out, like a YouTube channel or Instagram, if possible. Another thing. Here's another thing. It's going back to kind of Shattuck. I don't technically have an idea of what kind of like fusion method or what villain would be strong enough for Sonic and Shadow to have to fuse against. Mostly I stick to them being like a tag team duo. I feel like that's pretty cool. But like obviously a fusion would be so hype. You touch grass? Yes, I do. You should all touch grass. It is going outside and just kind of just being in nature is awesome. Or in a giant grass field is sick too. Yeah, there's a reason sometimes I spend. Well, okay, to be fair, the biggest hiatus I've taken was of earlier this year was a complete accident. Not a complete accident, but just something that I needed to do because school has a priority over video making. And there's nothing wrong with that. All right, I'm gonna stop looking at the instructions because I don't need them anymore. Actually, okay, I needed them a little. Not for the reasons you think, just for that piece. I'm once again thinking of building off camera. But yeah, well, that completes the Lego building process. Okay, cool. Mostly complete sets. Gotta go find those pieces. So before, we're about 80 minutes, so that's an hour 20. Well, you guys are talking about like, there's a guy called Figure Everywhere, and he makes customs. Okay, I'll give him a check out. So before I tune out, for review, do you guys want to like see my other figure collections real quick? Because I can show them. My phone should be mostly charged up, but I can quickly just pick it up and move it around to show my shelf of all my other figures. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my lights because they are starting to hurt my eyes staring at chat. Yes, Swan, yes, yes. All right, I don't know who the third person is. I actually made a Mighty and Ray since Jax didn't do it, but I need to upgrade them. And yeah, okay. So, step 1 is unplug my phone. Step 2 is unclip it. So, oh, I rolled over something. Great camera. All right, time for blackness. While I stand up. So, starting off, here's my table of side stuff. I have environmental stuff. There's my Switch. Environmental stuff back there. All my Sonic figures in a basket. Some extra figures with sticky tack and tape. And some super glue to repair stuff. Here's where I keep like effect parts. This one I keep, I guess, a screwdriver, a black Sharpie, and a red Sharpie. I have no idea why. And then down here is just like table pieces. Going dark. So here is my basket of other Sonic figures. So like you see my classic figures, some movie figures, specifically the light up ones. The battery died. The Sonic Prime figures. Vehicles, like here's the Eggmobile. Sonic, Jazzwares Sonic's car. Stuff like that is kept in here. So I come in here when I need them. Here's like the grass layout stuff I use. So like, oh, forget my cameras. It's kind of stuck. Here is more figures stuff. These are like my backup Sonics and whatnot. So here's like the version 2 Knuckles. His arm is broken, if you can see that. So I took his shoes off so I can use as like background elements. Ash Greninja, other Vegeta figures, just some other the bits and pieces. These guys have started kind of falling apart. That's why you've only seen, like, here's the Tails to where I took his shoes and the hand from, so I just keep them here out of the way. Like here's the Tails that I took the propeller tails from. And I have some paint markers. Oh, and some movie figures for some reason. So up here, I have my SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures at the moment. Mainly just some neat stuff. How do I scroll through chat? Oh, that's way too much. Pieces for tables that break every episode. Love that. That's a fun loving gag. That's a lot of figures, yes. Here's some Hot Wheels I have that I just kind of collect. There's a decapitated and armless Sonic. So like, okay. So I have regular Goku, UI, Goku, Super Vegeta, regular Vegeta, Ultimate Gohan, Daima Goku Vegeta, Beast Gohan, Piccolo, Jazzwares Super Sonic Frieza, Goku Blue, Gogeta Blue, Super Saiyan God Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Goku Vegeta, GT Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Up here is where I have my amiibos that I collect. I'm trying to get all the Pokemon ones. These are the ones in the front row of my favorites. So I have Incineroar, Howdy Boss, Greninja, Steve, Hero, Banjo-Kazooie, and Sonic, of course. I have a small clone trooper, and I have the rest of the Pokemon amiibos back there, along with Mario, Alex, and Richter. But before I continue on, here's where I keep the 5-inch movie stuff. So I have Super Sonic and Shadow, regular Sonic and Shadow. Because he is. I just had nowhere to put him. There's Movie Knuckles. There's some Funko Pops. I have Classic Sonic's Figure 8, Metal Sonic, Soap Shoes Sonic, Super Sonic. There's Shadow, Super Shadow, and then the collector's Shadow on his stand. I have this cool Sonic pin. This Knuckles' his head is right there. I have the Sonic statue. We'll get to the Power Rangers. Yeah, here are the Power Rangers. I believe it's Green Super Samurai here. Megazord mode, Super Red. I have the gold, and then I have the Megazord modes of the red and green back there. I also have this plushie of the Power Rangers, and a Funko Pop of Clone Commando. Some Beyblade boxes, the boxes of the Clone Commandos, and then I have all my Star Wars figures. So I have Anakin, Fives, Rex, Jesse, Jet Trooper, regular 501st, a bunch of other name clones that I can't remember. Delta Squad, Mace Windu, hard to see Bad Batch back there. That's kind of it for this shelf. Oh, here's the Blastoids from the teaser. Here's a Ninjago trading card. And there's a Greninja plushie. Oh, and I have this Cynthia thing. And Lightning McQueen's. And then let me go to the last shelf. This is more. So here's more of like my Pokemon stuff. Sit on the floor. So I have Squirtle and Blastoise are my favorite. The card games go with the spinner stuff, if I remember. So Squirtle and Blastoise are my favorite Pokemon. So I have quite a few of them. Zacian and Zamazenta, Primal Groudon, Greninja Funko, the Black Kyurem from the last live stream, Sceptile plushie, Black Kyurem plushie, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, War Turtle behind there. Next is more Ninjago stuff. The ZX suits in the newer version of the Ultrasonic Raider. I don't believe I built the Ninjago sets that I got on stream. So here's all my Sonic stuff. It's kind of fallen over. Supersonic fell over, but he's meant to be kind of like flying around. One-handed click back on. So, it's supposed to be a little battle between... So we have Knuckles fighting the Egg Robo, Super Shadow fighting the Biolizard, and this is where Metal Sonic's supposed to be. And he's meant to be chasing Supersonic, and then here's like Tails trying to free the Master Emerald. Here's where the Tails mech was, kind of like chasing him. And then this is just the rest of the stuff. So I have Tails' workshop. I think it's like the pet hospital, whatever. Shadow's bike. I love this. I have Shadow building a sandcastle, and I just love that. It's really funny. More Star Wars stuff. I have Spider-Man and Batman and the Batmobile. More cars. That. Lego figures that I collect. So I have like Kermit, the Mandalorian, Jake the dog, Wolverine, Moon Knight, Spider-Man, Captain America, Falcon, 2 Ninja Turtles, more Ninjago figures. And then sort of where I keep most of my cool Ninjago sets still put together up here. Oh, and then one last thing. Cool Ninjago mech. So, now I'm back to the setup. Anything else before I, Alright, anything else before I head out? Oh, all the stuff's coming in. Live video recording? No. If I do a room tour, I'm going to refilm it. But I don't plan on doing a room tour anytime soon. So. Well, if nothing else. First video I made. It's been privated. Some old stop motions that I filmed forever ago using stick bots. I privated those videos because I don't want to delete them because I kind of get nostalgic from watching them. But they're really terrible. Release date for episode 12, when it is finished being made. I don't give release dates until the episode is pretty much done, where I can feel confident getting it finished by the time period. I don't like giving myself such a time crunch. So that's all that information you're going to get. But otherwise, I will see y'all, whatever the next stream is, probably when I feel like doing another live stream. Peace out.